How do you give a language model far more knowledge without making it more expensive to run? Meta's answer, from a 2025 paper called Memory Layers at Scale, is a trainable key-value lookup you bolt into the network. In this video, why dense models struggle to store facts, what a memory layer is, how it works, the product key trick inside it, how it beats mixture of experts, the numbers, and when to reach for it. Start with the problem. In a normal transformer, factual knowledge is baked into the dense feed-forward layers. To store more facts, you make those layers wider, but every extra parameter is used on every single token, so compute and cost climb right along with size. You end up paying full price, in floating point operations, for knowledge the model only needs once in a while. There should be a cheaper place to keep facts. A memory layer is that cheaper place. It is a huge trainable lookup table of key-value pairs that replaces some feed-forward layers. For each token, the model builds a query, finds only the few most relevant keys, and pulls back their values. Because it touches just a handful of entries out of millions, it adds enormous capacity while the compute per token barely moves. It is sparsely activated memory sitting next to dense compute. Here is the retrieval loop, step by step. The incoming token is turned into a query vector. That query is matched against the memory's keys to find the top few closest matches. The model reads back the values at those slots, weights them with a softmax, and sums them into the token's representation. During training, gradients flow back but touch only the handful of keys and values that were selected, so learning stays sparse. The clever part is how it searches millions of keys quickly, using product keys. Instead of one giant key list, the query is split in half and matched against two small sub-key codebooks. The full key set is the Cartesian product of the two, so 1,000,000 keys come from just two lists of 1,000. You find the best sub-keys in each half, combine them, and pick the top matches, costing roughly the square root of the work. So how does this compare to mixture of experts, the other way to add parameters cheaply? An expert layer routes each token to a whole feed-forward subnetwork, so every activation still runs a chunky block of compute. A memory layer instead fetches a few tiny value vectors, far lighter per token. Matched for both compute and parameters, Meta found memory layers beat mixture of experts, especially on factual questions. Now the headline numbers. Meta scaled memory layers to 128 billion memory parameters, pre-trained on 1 trillion tokens, on base models up to 8 billion parameters. Their best models added 16 million memory slots, about 64 billion extra parameters, yet matched dense models that used more than twice the compute. On factual question answering, they saw gains of roughly 100%. Why is this so efficient? Because the extra parameters are nearly free in compute. A dense parameter costs floating point work on every token. A memory parameter just sits in storage until it is looked up. So you trade abundant, cheap memory and bandwidth for scarce, expensive compute. To make it practical at scale, Meta sharded the memory across many GPUs and wrote custom high-bandwidth kernels for the lookups. Where does this shine? Knowledge-heavy work. Memory layers are strongest on factual tasks, trivia, question answering, and recalling specific entities, where they sharply cut hallucinations. They are a great fit when you want a small, cheap-to-run model that still knows a lot, or when you need to keep growing a model's knowledge over time without paying more compute for every prediction it makes. In code, the shape is simple. You project the token into a query, split it into two halves, and score each half against its own small key codebook. You take the top matches from each, combine them into candidate full keys, keep the best few, softmax their scores, and return a weighted sum of the matching value vectors. Only those selected keys and values receive gradients, which is exactly why the layer stays cheap. When should you reach for it, and when not? Reach for it when your model is knowledge-bound and compute is your bottleneck, and you have memory and bandwidth to spare for a large parameter store. Think twice when you are tightly memory-limited, since those billions of slots still have to be stored, or when your task is reasoning-heavy rather than fact-heavy, where extra dense compute may simply help more. Quick recap. Dense models pay compute for every stored fact. A memory layer is a trainable key-value lookup that adds huge capacity for almost no extra compute. Product keys make searching millions of entries fast. Matched for compute and parameters, it beats mixture of experts and doubles factual accuracy, trading cheap memory for scarce compute. It is knowledge on demand, not baked into every weight. That is memory layers at scale. Give a model a vast, sparsely read library instead of cramming every fact into its dense weights. Did this make memory layers click? Follow for plain English Gen AI breakdowns.